y'all. Welcome to Parent Empowerment with Mandy Drogin. I'm Mandy. I'm just a mom sitting down having real conversations with real Texas parents about what's going on in our schools. Today, I am so excited to be joined by a mother and daughter, Greta and Miracle, to talk about their experience in the school system and how Miracle's doing today. Greta, Miracle, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Greta, you have a really incredible and heartbreaking story to talk about your experience in the education system. So we have Miracle here.
Yes.
We don't have your son here.
Yeah.
But I'd like to start with that story. Can you talk about where your son Terrence first went to school?
He first went to school at Ecclesia Christian.
Okay, a private school?
A private school. Well, we started at A.M. Pate Elementary, and he wasn't able to read after first grade.
Okay.
And so that prompted me to put him into a private setting, and he did. He learned how to read. He was thriving, but when he went to fifth grade, I could no longer afford it, so I had to place him back in a public school setting.
What were you doing to afford the private school to begin with?
Just working long hours.
You said the Red
cleaning.
Cross?
Yes, I worked at the Red Cross for 18 years.
Okay.
And just cleaning restrooms.
For the school?
For the school.
They had a program where you can clean?
Yes.
And so you were doing that to help make the tuition?
Yes.
Because your son needed to be in a Christian environment, you said?
Yes, and I had two in there at the time.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right.
So after that, like I said, I no longer could afford it, so I had to move him back to a public school setting.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth grade was okay. You know, he was in all honors. He did well.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he got into seventh grade, he was already smoking marijuana and, you know, just getting with the wrong crowd. You know, so I'd go to the school and I'd say, hey, you know, what could we do? Try to talk to counselors and, you know, try to talk to the teachers and just try to see, hey, what can we do? Because I have to work, you know, so... You know, there was no answer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I received a letter saying that I was going to be charged for court because he hadn't been coming to school. So that's how I found out that he wasn't even showing up.
So you didn't know?
I didn't know.
You were putting him on the bus?
I was taking him to the front door.
Oh, so he was leaving.
He was leaving out of the back. And I want to say after 15 days, maybe that's when I started getting notices that, hey, he's not there. I said, that's not true because, you know.
You walked him to the front door?
Yeah, I'm there, you know. And so after that, the counselor, she gave me her number. And so I would start calling. I would say, hey, you know, I just let Terrence out in the front. You know, I can't be charged. I can't pay $500 for a kid that's not there that I'm bringing to school.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that went on for maybe 4 months,
Yeah.
you know, off and on. And I told her, I said, hey, my kid is struggling here. What can we do? Nothing, no avenue. So one day on my way home from work, I got a call. It was a police officer. And he said, are you Greta Alexander? I said, yes. And he said, I need you to meet me on Granbury Road. It's a street in Fort Worth. And when I got there, they had my son there. And he had been walking in the middle of the street because that was my first experience with the ice.
Okay, so your son was high on methamphetamine.
Yes.
Okay.
And
also
I did
called
not
ice.
know. Yes.
And you did not. And how old was he?
He was 14 at the time.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
that's a pretty shocking call.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
It was. And so immediately, you know, of course, the first thing you do as a parent, we start trying to look for extra help outside of the school. So I put him in a rehab. MHMR. He went through the program, 30 days, went back to school. 3 days later, was high again with the same group of guys.
Were you trying to get him to a private school or somewhere else, or you just couldn't afford it?
I just couldn't afford it. I just could not afford to put him back in a private setting. And by this time, the decision to get high was already there, you know, and there was no one at the school that, you know, I even had one teacher tell me, I have 30 other kids to think about, and you're one I can't focus on. And I told her, I said, well, at least if you could just call me, just give me a call. If he don't show up, give me a call, So most of my work days was worrying about him. So the second time he left and was high, I found him at, some friend's house, not my friends, but his friends.
Yeah.
And he was passed out. And so I put him in a 45-day program this time. Didn't help. So he quit school.
At what age?
In 11th grade. He stopped going to school, and he just never recovered from the drug scene. And, like I said, a year ago, he died, and he overdosed. And, people don't want to admit it, that that's what it is, but that's what it was,
He was in a bad environment.
Yes.
And you had no money or resources to remove him.
No. And I believe if I would have had an opportunity to send him to a better place, and like I say, I have a couple of kids that made it through high school, and they are okay. But then I have my baby. He just didn't make it, and I regret that today. I wish that there was something, but there wasn't any other way. I had to send him there.
Like an education savings account.
Yes. If I'd had that choice back then, he may be alive today. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm trying. Okay. So, but, it's a lot of parents where I come from that
Feel the same way as you?
Yeah. If
Where
they
do you come
had a
from?
choice, I come from Fort Worth,
Okay.
the east side of Fort Worth. So,
Are you rich?
No, no.
Are your friends rich?
No.
Okay.
I'm between $27,000 and $30,000 a year, so I don't make a lot of money. If it had not been for a scholarship with my miracle, I wouldn't even be able to do what we're doing now.
So let's talk about your miracle.
Yes.
And she is a miracle. Let's talk about her beginning. So Miracle is adopted.
She's adopted.
Let's talk about where Miracle was adopted from.
Okay, I know her mom. She was in prison.
Okay.
And if you have a child in prison, you have 48 hours or they become a ward of the state.
Okay.
And so she had jokingly said to me, if I have a girl, you can have her because you have all those boys. And I said, okay. So when the prison guard called me, of course, I was shocked, but I was happy.
Yeah.
And she told me, she said, well, I heard that you're supposed to pick up this little miracle. And she started telling me she was born at 2:08 today, so you have 48 hours to pick her up. So got down, I picked her up, and when I picked her up, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
She was your miracle.
She is my miracle.
Oh, that is wonderful. So let's talk about Miracle's education. You mentioned that you have a small scholarship, a couple of $1,000s.
Yes.
To help send her to a school
Yes.
In Fort Worth.
Yes.
That costs less than $10,000 a year.
Yes.
We know because we went and did an event there with the governor.
That's
right.
right.
We went to Temple Christian School.
Yes.
And it's wonderful. Parents like yourself, they're not well off.
Yeah.
They scrape together
Yes.
tuition.
Yes.
And you know how important that is after losing your son.
Oh, yes.
So let's talk about Miracle's education now.
Wow. Well, my miracle, we started at Temple when she was in 5th grade. We went to Ecclesia Christian before that.
Okay.
And I would clean up
That's
pay
where they had a
tuition.
program for you to clean. Okay.
So I cleaned up there. And when I came to Temple, when I first applied, it was out of my reach. I cried. I have to be honest. I cried because I didn't think that public school setting in the neighborhood that I live in, the zip code where I come from, it wasn't the place because I've already experienced that 4 times. So I did not, that wasn't an option. So when I came to Temple, just so happened, on a whim, this program called ACE Scholarships had just came into play. I mean, the school had just gotten information on this program, and I applied, and we were accepted. And so she's been at Temple. She's doing great. She's A and B student. She makes 1B, so I have to say A and B. And she's the chaplain. She does basketball, softball, volleyball. She's in the Honor Society, and she's the leadership and community outreach. And so, and she's the love of a lot of her teachers' life. They all tell me great things, and so I know that all the glory belongs to God. But if we would not have the opportunity to be there, then I don't know what life would look like. Recently, I just took custody of my son that we're talking about now to his daughter.
Okay.
And she's a private school. I'm hoping to get her there. Right now, she's in a public school setting, and there's a lot of things that I see that I know for a fact that without a transition, it's not going to be good for her little life. So I'm trying not to cry because I really know that once a change for her is made, then I can see her being more successful. Right now, I'm not really pleased with what I see.
Can you give some examples?
Well, she's in 5th grade, but she's behind. And so
in reading or everything?
She loves math, so she's not behind in math. But everything else, the teachers are telling me that, she's struggling in some areas. So it's just, I think it's going to be better for her.
Yeah.
And it is a charter school that she goes to. I won't say the name because,
That's okay.
But she goes to that school, and she's been going, I believe, 2 or 3 years. So.
And you want her in the Christian environment?
It's a must.
It's a must.
You
want a faith-based school as part of your child's education.
It's a must.
Yeah.
It is.
There's millions of parents who want that as well.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's why you're here today, right?
Yes.
You're here in Austin.
Yes.
To talk to our governor. Yeah. We saw Speaker Burrows advocate for you.
Yes.
We know that a committee is hearing, and we know that soon they'll have to vote on education savings accounts.
Yes.
The education savings accounts where families like yours would be prioritized.
Yes.
Will you be applying for an education savings account if they pass it?
Yes, I will.
What does that mean to your family?
Wow. If I get an opportunity to change my child's education outlook, it's going to change everything. It's a big picture for me because, for one, even with my granddaughter, both of her parents struggled on drugs. And so if she could see something else other than what she sees in our neighborhood, what we see on a daily basis, if she could see something different, then it's going to help my whole community. I'm just not looking at my family, but my whole community, I believe, can change by one person getting a good education, because it'll change everything. Everything in our life can change, and I want people, especially the representatives and everybody, to know, the ones that are for it, I appreciate them because they're doing something for my family. I'm just a little old lady in Fort Worth, Texas, that is a single mom. I don't have a lot of money. I worked at the Red Cross, but I'm disabled now. I had a stroke at my desk. So there's a lot of things I wish that I could do. And to be here today to represent other moms like myself, it's amazing, because I'm here to tell you, we are seeking help. We are calling out for help. We are begging for help and having a choice in educating our kids, because we don't want them to see drugs every day. You know, personally, in the high school that my daughter would have to go to, there's same-sex things going on. For me in my house, that's not what I go with. So even that choice, just having a choice of her being able to go to school and not be, you know, hit on or touched by another girl.
Just
These are
exposed to
things,
it. Yeah.
these things are happening. And whatever other people do, I mean, that's their life. But for me in my house, I want to represent the parents that need this choice. Changing education changes everything. Having the ACE scholarship program has changed our life. Having this
ESA.
Yes.
The education
That's
savings
going to
account.
change people's lives. Yeah. And there's people, you know, they want to talk about $500,000 people and all of this. I think that's an exaggeration.
Yes.
Those people, you know, they're not going to be looking for this. It's going to be families like mine that are going to be looking. And the families that need help, it's just like I have a light bill. Those people have a light bill too. You know, they struggle. And so what if they make more money? They have more obligations, but people don't want to look at it that way. You know, whatever bracket you're in, if you need the help, I believe you're going to apply for it. If you don't need the help, you won't apply for it. And public schools, all of them are not bad. There is public schools now that people are lotterying for, just like they say, you're going to have to lottery for this money. Well, there's schools right now that are being lotteried for. I have little grandkids that had to get lotteried into a school that they're in, but they're held on a higher expectation. And that's because there's a wealth thing there.
Yeah.
You know? But in my school, who's making them be more responsible to teach reading? I have a little brother right now that's getting ready to graduate. But my granddaughter can read much better than he can.
You have a little brother that's about to graduate from a public high school.
Yes.
And your granddaughter in the 5th grade can read better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's going to graduate, right?
He's going
They're
to.
going to give him a diploma.
They are.
They're going to send him out into the world.
Yes, they are.
And he's going to struggle.
Yes, he's already struggling.
He's already struggling.
Yes.
Can he read a job application?
With help, I'm sure. With help.
But he'll walk across the stage.
He will.
He'll
He's in the alternative now.
He'll get counted as graduating. And he can't read. Are you afraid for him?
I started being afraid when he was a freshman, because I saw it. So it is.
What do you think's going to happen when he finishes high school? How's he going to spend his days?
I'm
sorry.
I don't.
You're scared.
I started being afraid in 9th grade. So, you know, most kids in our area, they gravitate to people that sell drugs and do different things to make it through. So that's the next step. Without a job.
The school to prison pipeline is real in your community.
Yeah, so you'll still, somebody's mom or dad might get hurt in the process.
Yeah.
Somebody innocent, you know, that's just going to the grocery store, you know, could get their purse snatched or, you know, just unnecessary stuff, all because we dropped the ball when we had an opportunity to change.
Yeah.
So, you know, if people get educated and see something else, Miracle's been talking about college since she was 5.
That's amazing.
You know, but that's what was drilled in there. It was drilled in. by a group of people that said, hey, this is what you can be.
You can do this.
You can do it. But when you're in a setting and there's 30 other kids, the teacher doesn't have time to focus on one kid.
Do you talk to other moms in your community?
Yes.
Do the other moms look like you?
Yes.
Minorities?
Yes.
Do they have an income roughly around yours? You said $30,000 a year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do they want an education savings account for their children and grandchildren?
Yes.
Why aren't they here today? Are they at work?
Yes. They have to, because it's only one income in the house.
Yeah.
So they have to work.
But you talk to them.
Yes.
Your community is asking for choices.
Yes. I'm standing in the gap today.
You are.
For my community.
You are a hero.
I want them to know that we all believe in this voucher, this choice.
Yeah. And you want it.
It's a must-have. We definitely want it.
It'll change family. It'll change individual lives.
Yes.
It'll change family trees.
Yes.
It'll change the next generation of Texas.
Yes.
For
and
those.
we just said that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So I would love to talk to your miracle.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Miracle. Thank you for being here today.
No, I'm excited.
You have a hero for a mother. Talk to me about, as she rattled off all your accolades and all your activities that you're in. I saw you come in from the softball field, all covered in dirt. It looks like you've been slagged. And talk to us about your school and why your school is so special and important, and why it's so important for you to have that opportunity and for other families to have choices like you do.
Okay. Well, my school is special to me because it gives me like every time I walk onto campus, like I've made some of the best friends ever. In my class specifically, like we're so close and connected. Like it helps build like a family environment with your class. Since it's so small, there's like not too many of us, so we all hang out together, we talk.
Yeah.
There's not many cliques. It's just like you have your friend groups, but we hang out with each other. We don't have fun. And then like if you're struggling, your classmate is always there to pick you up. They're always there to like help out. They're like, okay, how can I help you? What can I do? How can I make you understand it? And the teachers, they go above and beyond to make sure you understand it. And if you don't, like they dedicate time out of like their day, whether that's getting up an hour earlier to come to the school and meet you, to tutor you, or whether that's staying later in their day. And they have kids too, they have lives, but they take aside their time to help us get the education we need. In the sports, like they teach us how to find Christ in everything. And I just love that because I love the Christ factor of it. We have chapel and we're just we're connected. It's such a big family basis, and there's nobody that you see on campus that you can't talk to. You can talk to them about anything and they're just there for you. And I think it's important for people to know that there are options out there, you know? So
That's wonderful. So you're a junior.
yes, so
What are you planning to do when you finish high school?
So I have a couple of options on the table
That's
now
good.
I've been
Options are good.
I've been looking through like things. So like I either want to go into surgery and be an orthopedic surgeon.
Wow.
And I know that's going to be like a lot of time in college. So that's why I was like, all right, so maybe I should look at other things in case I get there and I'm like, I kind of don't want to do that anymore. I do know for sure that I'm going to get a business degree. Because me and my brother, we have a business plan.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of business?
Well, I'm not allowed
Are you allowed to say? Oh, you're not allowed to say.
He
Oh,
wants
it's
to be a secret,
Okay.
but I told him I would get
But
the
you have a
business
plan.
degree. He wants me to get the business degree part so I can handle all the
That's awesome.
professional stuff.
Sure.
And so, but I do know I want to do something in nursing, either nursing or probably nursing. But yeah, that's my options.
So you're going to go to college.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. That's so great. Thank you for sharing that about what you want to do. I think it really is important for everyone to hear the different opportunities, even within one family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing.
That's so wonderful. Before we wrap up,
Okay.
I would really love you to look in this camera right here.
Okay.
And I want you to talk to the legislators of Texas,
Okay.
those that will vote on an opportunity that you would benefit from, and that so many families in your community and communities just like yours across Texas. Talk to them and tell them why this is so important. Tell them why this is the civil rights moment of our time.
Yes.
Tell them why they should support you and pass education savings accounts.
Okay. Well, hello there, everyone. I appreciate your vote in advance. I'll tell you why it's important to me. When I was in high school, I was already pregnant with 2 kids before I graduated. And if my mom would have had a choice, she probably would have been able to take me to a better environment so that I could do better. You know, she had to work 2 jobs because she was a single parent. And so when you come down to my generation now, it's important that you know that people like me, that look like me, that don't make a lot of money like me, really need your vote on this matter, because if you change our kids' education, you're going to change everything. It's going to change our community. And our kids right now, they see drugs every day. They see teen pregnancy. Some of them are in homes that they're being abused by people that's supposed to love them, because that's what happened to me. And I had nobody to talk to. When I would go to school and try to say, hey, you know, somebody's doing this or that to me, I didn't have anybody to talk to. So if you give us a choice on where to send them, maybe somebody can see or hear, or somebody they can cry out to about not just education, but everything, the whole person. And that's all I'm asking for. If I would have had somebody to meet the whole person in me, it probably would have been better. So thank you in advance. Please vote for this bill for all single parents, because if we're at work, we can't always see what's going on with our kids, and we need your help. We need a choice on where to send them and what to do. Thank you. So,
Greta,
yes.
thank you for being here.
Thank you
Miracle.
for having us.
Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see what you do in your future.
Yes.
What a blessing.
Yes.
You are a true miracle to your mother. We are
Yes,
just
she
grateful
is.
that you're here. Thank you for joining us today on Parent Empowerment with Mandy Drogin. And now you have the power.